máa Nigeria rú. The same way tí Western region fi dá Nigeria rú 1964-65 ó ń ṣẹlẹ̀. So mo fẹ́ ká ní perspective yẹn pé we don't need to be saying pé pé kí làwọn kan ṣe kí ni wọ́n ṣe. People should mute their, if they are not speaking now, we should be disciplined to some extent. Apologies for such a word anyway.
That the already less of everybody come mute.
Richard Adu, can you move? Richard Adu.
So, mo fẹ́ apèsè gbogbo wa ni pé I want this thing to happen yesterday. I want it to happen yesterday, not even today, not even tomorrow. But I must be realistic to know that there are too many parameters, too many variables. It's not clean cut. Western region, affect Lola, affect next month. Our affect gan Yoruba are ready fún. Oni ọpẹ Bámidélé sọ pé Yorùbá ò tí kíní kan wọn ẹnu Yorùbá ò kù ẹnu Yorùbá ò kù ìgbélé ẹni wá ti fẹ́ yàrá wò la fẹ́ dúró sípò Yorùbá hall ló fẹ́ gbà wá tẹnu wa máa kù láti decide pé kan tá fẹ́ nìyẹn. Even nínú body to belong many people say àwọn èèyàn fẹ́ rọ̀ fún governor àwọn èèyàn fẹ́ rọ̀ fún senate tó yẹ Yorùbá tí wọ́n fẹ́ gbọ́ pé no mo ti náwó sí election tó ń bọ̀ mo fẹ́ sí governor kí ló ń jẹ́ Western region kí ló ń jẹ́ kinní kan tá a dẹ̀ ń gbọ́ mo dẹ̀ morúkọ mo mọ̀ wọ́n they say to my hearing Yorùbá dẹ̀ ni wọ́n dẹ̀ fi ṣe ká wọ́n fẹ́ di senator wọ́n fẹ́ di governor of Ondo state of Osun state nǹkan tó focus sí nìyẹn. So that about change constitution say now they will feel that they have lost. Àwọn ló dẹ̀ lówó àwọn ló ní means. Let me not dwell too much on that. I think I made my point. Pé ẹ jẹ́ ká máa ṣiṣẹ́ wa lọ with all concert. Ẹ má jẹ́ ká bẹ̀sẹ̀ question whether we are serious or we are not serious. Bàbá serious nǹkan kí la fẹ́ get. Bàbá serious bá a bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìbọn gan bá a kó bọ́n jọ báyìí. Ṣé ọjọ́ kan la máa liberate Roko la máa dé Ìbàdàn la máa dé Òṣogbo ni ká nípa tẹ̀fẹ́ jagun ni mo kàn sọ of course àwọn ẹni tó fẹ́ jagun náà tá a fẹ́ liberate Yorubaland lóòótọ́ militarily ṣé oṣù kan la máa fi ṣe àbí oṣù mẹ́ta àbí oṣù mẹ́fà àbọ̀dún kan àwọn ọba ṣáà máa support wa torí wọ́n ń gbowó ní ọ̀dà ìjọba ń sìn 5% of all local government money goes to all obas in Yorubaland and then all traditional rulers across the country. Wàhálà mọ̀ pé àwọn ọba kì í ṣiṣẹ́ owó iná jókòó tì. So ọ̀nà ọ̀run ni pé the bird in the hand is worth more than 10 in the bush. We must understand that. We must start understanding that. I'm pleading for us to understand that. We shouldn't be feeling serious. Fẹ́ ṣe ni kíní kan ni. No, it's not like that. Tọ́lọ́run bá fún wa ní grace lóòótọ́. Nǹkan máa dàrú lọ́nà tá àti ẹ̀ mọ̀. Tó máa ní ká pé Nàìjíríà pé kíní ò bọ́ sí mọ́ kò bọ́ sí mọ́. Mo fẹ́ sọ nǹkan méjì tí Tinubu ṣe ní ọ̀sẹ̀ tó kọjá yìí tí ó correct tó wà against the principle nǹkan tá a believe in, you know. Ó set up committee kan ní lọ́sẹ̀ yìí committee to reform Nigerian legal system holistically. Ọ̀rẹ́ mi kọ́ but is my acquaintance, is my namesake. Olawale Fakponda, non-official chairman, SAN. Over reform laws of Nigeria under a unitary system. When we know customary law to not customary law south, practice in the east, it's the west. You want to do a unitary review of the law. Can one law apply to all Nigerians? That's not for a government who wants to decentralize Nigeria now. Judiciary should be decentralized. So Tinubu is going in the direction of a unitary organization of Nigeria to be more efficient in his own mind. But it runs counter to what we know. In the 60s, Western Regional Judiciary tier, one court of appeal separate. The North had its own separate. The East had its own separate. There's court of appeal. You don't need to go to federal Supreme Court for many things those days. In Kota Afeni, but I want long since unitary reform of the laws. That's one wrong step to why against what we are saying. Lano, the government sent bills to the National Assembly to create National Revenue Service. One body that will control all revenue going to the government or the federation, including the states. Customs, immigration, whatever, all of them now will be, they will not be doing revenue collection again. There will be one body now, National Revenue Service, that will be in charge of all money coming to federal government. When they collect the money, it is then that federal government will now be sharing to all the states. That's another reinforcement of unitary system. Each region should collect its own revenue. But a new bill was sent to the National Assembly today to centralize the control of revenue according to all agencies of government. Those are two things this week just show that we have a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do. The forces against decentralization is just too much. And we want to decentralize. That's what regionalization is about. Let's decentralize. Let each area do what it wants. Education, health, road, infrastructure. Let not have federal jump. Let not have federal NUC. Let not have federal road safety. Let the region do its own. That's what we are trying to fight for. So we have a lot of work to do. And it's a marathon. We continue doing it. We continue doing it. I know many of us, especially many of my brethren overseas, you don't want to hear it, but it's the truth. We are making efforts. In the last 3 weeks, I've been very busy. In the last 2 weeks, especially, I'm involved. We want to broker one body of Afenifere. Many people say that Afenifere this, Afenifere that. People attack Afenifere is Adebanjo. The ideas were the one that was strategized. Baba would just talk. If somebody says I'm a sellout, I just laugh. And it got 100 million. It just lower 100 million. Naira, the dollars. Anyway, I'm hinting you that we are making effort to unify Afenifere as a body. Why are we doing that? Tinubu fẹ́ ṣe conference of youths 30 days. Ó announce it. A gbọ́dọ̀ ní platform tí yóò máa fi sọ̀rọ̀. We must have a platform tí yóò máa fi sọ̀rọ̀. Outside Yoruba land, nobody knows anybody. apart from Afẹ́nifẹ́re. Báwọn bá ṣe meeting, bá ṣe anything báyìí, wọ́n á pe Ohanaeze, wọ́n á pe Pandef, wọ́n á pe Arewa, wọ́n á pe Middle Belt Forum, wọ́n á pe Afẹ́nifẹ́re. We can't do anything about it. It's a fact. So we will be cutting our nose to spice our face. Taban Jokuta Afẹ́nifẹ́re pé it's a useless body. Kìnní kan, bàbá arúgbó yẹn is expired. Afẹ́nifẹ́re náà máa pè tán bá fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ all indigenes of Nigeria. That is a fact. So no matter our reservations about Afẹ́nifẹ́re, it belongs to everybody tó bá fẹ́ join. Èmi gan mo gé class bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. Mo sọ fún Yínká Odùmákin for year pé mú mi lọ sí Afẹ́nifẹ́re now. A ní brother, I will take you. Brother, I will take you. Ọjọ́ kan ni mo dress mo lọ sí meeting wọn on my own. Second meeting, they made me director of research. Second meeting, I walked in on my own, I get crashed. Nobody is driving anybody. All of us are not paid. We are all voluntary. Nobody is paid to work for Afẹ́nifẹ́re. It's an idea. It's a concept. Welfare for all, freedom for all, life more abundant. That is what Afẹ́nifẹ́re is about. Kò sẹ́ni tó ní. Gbogbo alájọ ní pátápátá is an idea. That you look out for yourself, look out for the other person. That's all. Afẹ́nifẹ́re believes, and I believe it too, that we cannot fight our way to separate from Nigeria. We cannot fight our way. It is through negotiation of protocol of relationships. It is through agreement on being neighbors. Tabati agreement nearby. Within 3 months, we will have High Commission in London. At the Makala Commission, we are going to have offices in New York, in Sydney, within 3 months. It has happened before. We will just be neighbors. Who is stopping all Yoruba from being Ibadan? In fact, Yoruba in West Africa, they all are constituency now. I'm a consul office in Côte d'Ivoire, in Liberia, in Ghana. They are all Yorubas. Western region, we will do it. But we need to have the negotiated understanding with our neighbors. We will create our own JAM, we'll create our own NUC. Once you see education, health, road, everything to each region. We don't need the flag of Nigeria. Let Nigeria flag stand. Let Nigerian passport stand. Even though you don't say one more Yoruba yato, tamari Yoruba, one more Igbo yato. Even now, today, Bubalo sees Asia and saying one more Igbo yato, one more Yoruba yato. They know. We will know better even still when we are a region. So don't let us, I want to appeal, because it is that time I'm talking emotionally about this matter now. We should not cut our nose to spite our face. Call on for any grace. I'm involved in unifying Afẹ́nifẹ́re to have one body that will speak one voice. And the voice not only way we want to be like we were in 1954 to 1964. That's what we are aiming for. Nobody can persuade me against that. Taba niyen nìkan, ó ti tó wa pátápátá. Any currency to one, but we do many other things. There was National Bank those days now to give Yorubas banking support. There will be housing corporation for Yorubas. So all university will be organized into a system for to produce IT and technology. We will take Cocoa to a higher level. Many things we can do. So I'm appealing to all of us that to bá work, taba anybody yẹn. WRO will be the think tank, the intellectual arm, will be the idea generating body, because this is only body that I know that comprised of technically gifted people in the diaspora that might drive the process of change, that might drive the process of investment inflow from outside. You are the one that will want to come home within 3 months. You are the one that want to come home. Immigrant, my 3 children are overseas, they would like to come home. They are all IT professionals. They will come home once we have this region. So let us be optimistic. Let us be encouraged. Let us have positive attitude on this matter. We are all one. All body Yoruba. Very good friend of mine based in UK. Look, we want all of us. He has a different method to his own. Look, I will never condemn your method. Don't condemn my own. I can see that you are very sincere in your own reasoning, because you have no cause to have been bribed. You have no cause to have been to be a sellout. But you have a conviction that I don't agree with. And we spoke for almost 2 hours on the phone today. You also don't agree with my conviction, but I will not demonize you. To buy price and to buy day, I'll be willing to sit down and clap and welcome you. If I succeed too, be ready to accept that I've succeeded in our mission. We want an identity for the Yorubas across the world with the home base in Western region. We want identity. We want to be able to speak Yoruba as a language. We need to revise our curriculum. We need to revise our content of learning. We can't be it under NUC now. We can't be it under Federal Ministry of Education. So that is the objective. So Kinekashin now, we are trying to recruit leadership for WRO. My brother Ayeloke says so now. Nǹkan tí ó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní lọ́sẹ̀ tí Opeyembamidele tó ń ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀, you know. Àwọn gbogbo wọn, they are all on their own name. Nobody to call them to other name. Everybody is on his own. I'm making an effort now to help me about it. How we can get the phone number of all the senators and House of Rep members. Can database here. Can database here. Can they send the newsletters they want every 2 weeks or every month? Database you want. We have no means of reaching out to them collectively. Money 1, 2, 3, 4 of them as my friends, but Tilisha can call me. Only my boss Senator Fadansi is from Elisha. Mo send test, mo call it Konigbe. I don't know why. But you come wash it low me there, wash it low way. Me wash it now at all. But Tabani database of all senators who are Yoruba of extraction till the Kwara Kugi. I don't know who can help me. I can't do this thing alone. We need to, somebody has to do research online. We want to create a database of all speakers of house, all members of state assembly, all House of Rep members, all senators. We need to have database so that we can be communicating with them. Think about fair share. We have no means of reaching them. There are no means. I'm not thinking about it. We can't reach them. Collective way. Could they take one local to produce newsletter once a month? to explain why we want to be on our own. Àwọn Èkìtì sọ pé a fẹ́ lọ sí Ìbàdàn. Ó ní láti lọ sí Ìbàdàn now. You be a federating unit in Yoruba land. You have your own rights in Ekiti. There is no a problem to come and oppress you now. You'll be required to pay maybe 10% of revenue only, like a club, to run a Western region. That's all. And I produce a document like where we can use South Africa model. We don't need to have one capital in Ibadan. In South Africa, they have capital for judiciary somewhere. They have executive in another place. They have legislation in another place. In Western region, the ministry says education, health, sports will be one group. We can put it in another in Ondo State. Infrastructure. In the mighty name of Jesus, everyone that you have in the name of Jesus.
Mr. Dekolu Bolanle, please.
So, as I was saying, we have to sit down this body now, multi-continent syllabus. Ó dàbí pé àwa gan ní group a kì í kàwé. Mi ò fi bú anybody o, mi ò fi insult anybody o. Mi ò bú anybody, but a kì í kàwé. Mo ti kọ sílẹ̀ initial we need to have a panel to drive a new framework for governance for Western region. People assume we just copy what happened in 1964 and do it immediately like that. I say we are static. That's not true. That's not true. It's there. I produce a document on the issues to consider in the new Western region government. We're supposed to have proportional representation, not winner take all. We're supposed to decide how leaders can emerge. We need to design many things to bring a change. You cannot just conjure Western region, come, and from that day, everything will be good. No. No. We have to make our bed in the way we want to lie on it. That's how it has to be. I already identified that we are 26 people in Yoruba land, 26, maybe there are more. Each one only territory here. So we are already a federation of 26 subnationalities in Yoruba land. Each region will have its own rights and obligations. Where is the oppression now coming from? I don't know. I don't know. Some people just talk. So, but iṣẹ́ wa náà nìyẹn ń to think through what we are to do. In my document, we are supposed to form Academy of Achievement, Academy of Enterprise. It's in my document. Many things we are supposed to do. We are not addressing them. So let me not talk too much. I've made my points that we need to work together. With what we are going to do is a marathon. God might just help us to bring trouble in Rivers State or in some other Kaduna State that will make Nigeria ungovernable. In the same way that Western region made Nigeria to be ungovernable in 1964. I pray that we will not get a military coup. I pray against it, but the country might get ungovernable to the extent they will say, okay, come and talk. Come and talk. Then we'll be ready to talk. We'll have documents to say what you want. We're cutting a map of Western region now. Western region now. Taba etuali ba epo láti produce a map yẹn. Ibo ni Yewa wà, ibo ni Àwórì wà, ibo ni Ìlàjẹ wà, ibo ni Ìjẹ̀ṣà wà, ibo ni Ìgbómìnà wà, ibo ni Èkìtì wà, to produce a map of these 26 or more peoples of Western region. map bá ready the next 1 month, about launch ẹ̀, wọ́n mọ̀ pé serious nìyẹn. They know we are serious. We launch a map of Western region. They say we have 600 people, 600 tribes. Okay. We identify 26 of them or 27 of them with territories. They describe their form, their geography, their resources, and everything. An atlas of Western region. The new Western region. We produce the atlas. We need to fund that. That will show the whole country. They are going. They are going. Even the next 2 or 3 months now, this body can put together a committee of 5, produce a new governance framework for Western region. There are many drafts, but let's produce a new governance framework. The fact that inaugurate committee, and we the WRO is working, something is coming. Within 3 months, Tomba produce report, but this is a draft governance model for Western region that will include everybody, where no sub-community will be oppressed. Everybody will have rights of self-determination. Some people will say, we didn't know this will be like that. We didn't know it's like that. I don't want to oppress Ekiti now. Ekiti not want to oppress women and people. We are free. Then that's when we can work. That's when we can be talking. Then we can be talking. So we need a team now to handle publicity. And when we started, we need somebody to be in charge of foreign communications. Somebody to be in charge of even Nigeria communications. We didn't read. I'm sorry to personalize names. I'm very sorry, but it's the truth. We did not read Magaji correctly at all. We did not read him correctly. He's the one who will have fitted to be in charge of communications within Nigeria. I know him like the back of my hand. He had the network. It's the one, but somehow he says certain things. People say, "Oh yes, we don't want him. You don't want him." Okay, he says it said, fine, no problem. No, but Atobakunko should be Odumakisa Tikunsin. Are you pardon now? So collectively, we have to identify somebody now who can be in charge of communications. We enjoyed the time when Nika Odumakin was available. Without talking to anybody, he can issue press release, metalojuma, and you cannot fault the communication that he will release. Very, 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 very industrial, very, very articulate. That was why when he died, governors assembled in Ile-Ife to bury him because we knew his impact in communications. Olojo in Buhari, Olojo in Kenekan, we know that time, but people saw the good merit that Nika Odumakin impacted in projecting Yoruba ideas. So we need somebody like that now. In fact, when you Secretary General, he said me very small. I'm to just produce documents in the background. Chairman is symbolic though, in public events. Communication need the issue now. Communicate to need reach, to need contacts with all the media people in Nigeria. To have on first name basis. Me ò tí rẹ̀ lómi tí mo mọ̀, but I know all of us here, we know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who can fit that bill to help us propagate Western region idea. Come alagulate everybody. And the press men, they need news to sell their paper anyway. You don't need to pay for everything. Iru Abamidele saying now is enough to have orchestrated a big campaign against or for regionalism. You could have taken them to the cleaners. But who can do it? So in the next October, I want to stop
Recording
now.
in progress.
I want to run so that other people can talk. We need to find somebody, 1, 2, or 3 people who can form a committee to drive the process of enlightening the people. But the governor, you'll be better off governing in your own area, your own people, where people respect you. Don't be governor for Fulanis or governor for Igbos. We need to now look inwards and develop our own people. We have enough to do inside Yoruba land. We have enough. So if you come back, no, you can still come for governor now. Somebody has to rule in all parts of Yoruba land now. So if you are interested, I would like to be chairman of my local government. I would like it. I will live in my own house. I will walk to work. I will not even need to drive a car. I walk to work. Why do I need to be flying around the campaigning in Afikpo, going to Nguru, going to Maiduguri? What is the meaning of that? I would like to be local government chairman. People will see me, I will see them. They know my father, know my grandfather, everything. That's more rewarding to me than to say I want to be governor of Osun State. I don't want to be governor of Osun State at all, unless I stole money. It's not possible under the present system. I can't. So I appreciate all of us who are in this meeting. I want us to go with good mind that we want to do good, and God will help us to do it. I salute everybody.
Thank you very much. Are we taking it? Who is ready out of the speakers? Lori.
Yeah.
Is Dr. Aliu here? Baba Aliu, is that Baba Aliu here? Baba Aropoire. Can you all hear me?
I can hear you.
This is Dr. Abejide. Let me answer that. The secretary has a crash phone because he's traveling. But according to Aropore, I think he's recording it. So from there, we'll be able to exchange ideas.
That's not what I'm saying. I said those who have to speak. There are some names.
Maybe I can add 1 or 2.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead, Mr. Akishiku.
Which what I've been saying all along when we first had this meeting. The first steering committee, we had a very productive meeting, and we said that set out what we would do in order to push it forward. But unfortunately, we have not been able to have maybe some people that we will rely on as the face of the organization. And until we have that, there is going to be a problem. This idea of maybe we nominate people, maybe we do that, it's not going to cut it. But we say, okay, now we are serious about an organization, and we really want to have officers to join Dr. Faponda as the Secretary General, or what other title we can have. That is what has been militating against moving this organization forward. It's not an organization without officers. There has to be a face to it. Once we have that, maybe a combination of people in the diaspora and at home, and then we can begin to map out. We can charge them, this is what we want to do. But we haven't had that. Let's take it from there, and then go back to what the steering committee first agreed upon. At that point, we decided we will have an office in Abuja, we will have an office in Ibadan. And as far as I'm concerned, when we are setting up this type of an organization, initially it will require some legwork to actually educate the people on what we are all about. But that is missing. We just gather ourselves on this platform and thinking that is an organization and even theorizing on what the organization will be. When in actual fact, the organization is not existing. Everybody is writing left, right, and center. How could that be? And we've been doing it now for a couple of months, but nothing has come out of it. Essentially, people writing and preaching to the choir. So the problem that I face, one would have thought that most of us will be eager. Dr. Fakunda initially spoke about the two things, the Tinubunshi. It's obvious that he's setting out to expand unitary system of government. He started with his local government, even though that in itself is very, very touchy issue. But then about look deep into his ideas of this local government to fight for is anti-federal system. It is an expansion of unitary system of government. If the federal government is funding all the local government in the country, obviously it's going to be dictating to it. Dictating to them what to do. He will win enormous power. In the last throes of Buhari, he tried 3 times to expand water resources, to take over the whole the river banks throughout the country. Twice he failed. So what if Tinubu now exercises power, throwing over, taking over local government? Now says, well, in your local government, in order for me to release funds for you now, I want you to go with this. I want you to allocate land to the Fulani. And it will happen. And if Tinubu didn't even do it, what about if a Fulani head of state comes after him? Then it becomes a problem. Now he's talking about, from what Dr. Fatman has said, about also doing all these things. The problem that the president can move with you forward is that once somebody becomes the president, because the president to some extent is very powerful, they don't want to reduce their power. They want to take more power. And they militate against progress. Tinubu that we know, Banja and I know, it's shocking that he's now talking about this expanding of your unitary system, all because he wants his power. There was an election in Edo. They drafted 34,000 police officers over there. And then the outcome of that elections. And the police, even though they will say, okay, in the state, we don't want state police because the governor will misuse their power. But the president has always been misusing the power of the police. And all the coercion, the instrument of coercion that they are using. So he doesn't want to let that go. The only thing we can do now, we are serious, because Taba meeting lady, Taba address this issue of setting up a proper organization with faces. And then then we can move forward to how we fund it. No organization can function without resources, especially the type of organization Tabashi. We need resources. And I can assure you, if Taba lost Betania said to open, both the diaspora and income, we can raise considerable amount of money. So, and the issue Dr. Fakuna to address, this is not a short-term thing. The problem Yoruba nation was that initially Babakitoye will come and we keep repeating the same thing. Over 3 years now, nothing has happened. And knowing the prevailing situation in Nigeria, we all know that it's not going to be easy. But if we can take the baby step, the first step now to set up this organization and begin to actualize and beginning to move forward, people will see what you are doing, not restricting ourselves to the pages of WhatsApp platform. That's all I have to say for now, and I may have more later on, but I want to give others.
Thank you, Prince Akishiku. Mr. Oyekale, you have your hands up, and
yes.
Can you give us briefly, please? We want to be
briefly,
able to go around. Right.
Yeah, the first thing I confirmation is the discussion between the Senate I think, who are very, very positive to us. We need to find out what led to that discussion. Who sponsored it? Where is he coming from? Where is he heading to? Because that's the backbone of this organization. And I want us to investigate how come the Senate are discussing it now. Is it being sponsored? Or just a discussion?
What I don't understand.
I'm talking of a regionalism that was being discussed in the Senate.
Okay.
I want us to find out how come, how do they know? What is anybody sponsored the bill? Or it's just a discussion, it's just a talk? We need to find out why those matter came out in the Senate and follow it up rigorously. That's number one. I will call you. I don't want to discuss in detail here, because I was told that we are live. So the second one I want to talk is that I disagree with the two speakers about this organization. We set up this organization. We have committees, and if Dr. Fakonda need anything, he should go back to the committee. I need somebody like this, or I need something like this. But if you are not liaising with the committee members, you are not calling the meeting, you are not discussing with them, how do they function? You have, 2 or 3 committees, which are supposed to be, functioning, and you'll be discussing with them. Anything he needs, let him go to the committees, let the committee discuss it, and come to the meeting like this, and give us the feedback.
Has the committee elected their members and their officers and their...
That is, I don't know. He should move. The leadership of should move them to elect. When they don't meet, that will they elect their member. Somebody has to, help them to meet together to have the meeting and elect their member if they need be.
Mr. Ayekale, we will ensure that the committee is inaugurated and they will start functioning.
Thank you.
As soon as possible. I said earlier, maybe before you came in, we are meeting today with a possible prospect of having the steering committee meet sometimes. Maybe it could be tomorrow, it could be on Sunday. Actually, we toy with the idea of timing to be able to accommodate those in Nigeria and also in the diaspora. So we've had that aspect of your decisions. We'll try and inaugurate those committees.
Finally, I said the other meeting that we should allow the Abaruko to moderate the meeting so that we'll be focused on what we come here to discuss, not going dive into Nigerian problem. We should be focused. Somebody who should be there to moderate the meeting for us. If somebody is going derail, we say, no, you're cutting off. He will come up and say, look, this is what we come here to discuss. If we come here and discussing Nigeria, we'll be here in 5 days. But we need somebody who have an experience to tailor the meeting according to why we are here. Thank you.
Well, we are not actually out of place with what we've done. I specifically called on Dr. Papunda to give us the perspective from home. There is a reason for that.
Okay.
And he may have given us a very comprehensive. We need that. We need everything he has told us. We cannot. And besides, this meeting is not for the diaspora alone. Anyway, this is the worldwide. I call it one where I see somebody in one of these things say, "Oh, why are they doing this? Why are they doing that?" And all that. I decided to ignore it. But in this case, I was expecting those from Nigeria to be even more today. And I think I've seen a couple of, or more than a couple from Nigeria that are here. This is not diaspora show. This is WRO, as a whole. And we need to know what is going on at home. And at the beginning, part of what we identify was that Dr. Fakunda should be able to be our face and our ears, everything, with some of his associates to be able to step forward and be able to, know what is going on, advise us accordingly. So this is not a talk show per se, but a way to discuss exhaustively and be able to fashion out a strategy to move on. Now, the recurring issue is this, before I allow the next speaker. The recurring issue to me is that we seem to have two slightly different perceptions of what we need to do. Some of us believe that to be able to be effective, we need to have a very varied organization that will be able to raise money if they have to, spend money if they have to, do anything that has to be done. Some of us seem to be in a hurry that what we need to do is to, start working from these committees. But the way some of us are looking at it is that even the product of the committee will need to be backed with finance. And so if we are just saying, it may not necessarily translate to success. That if we have a proper organization with at least the minimum to the there's no maximum. In that case, you have risk. And that is one of the best ways to know you have a stake in an organization. It could be $10, it could be 10,000 naira. Once you have that stake, we know, and you are coming to the meeting, we know that you are committed. Now, some of us believe that all you need to do is say, this is WRO. Name some people who can work in concert with Dr. Fakunda. We've tried that. And all it led to were people who cannot even say exactly what our organization or what we are trying to achieve, who are now placed in the position of explaining to people in Nigeria what we want. So those are the two conflicting, to me, those are the two areas, because each time we talk about moving an organization, everyone is now showing up here. You just felt that Baba Agropoire should moderate. It's not a talk show, this is a meeting. Somebody has to preside and be able to direct the meeting to what is on the agenda. Say, look, this is what we need to do. This is what we need to talk about. This is what we need to take decisions on. If we cannot reach a decision or consensus, we need to, press for division, and then there will be voting. Those are the ways I know to move an organization forward. But like I said, the steering committee will, as from this weekend, I will talk to Dr. Fakunda again and see how, if possible, we may have to quickly integrate the committee and let them break into committees, and then they'll be working from there. Thank you. Miss Davis, Olushola Davis.
Good evening, House. Ekuwaju. My own belief for tonight's meeting is that we want as many people to join WRO to understand what we stand for and where our aims and objectives are. So now, all the things the last speaker, especially the last speaker, and some of the things Mr. Fakunda been saying should be in the meeting, not to be publicized. See, when we, sorry, I will have to be putting in Yoruba in my talks. See, èèyàn bá ń ilé ẹni ni èèyàn ti máa ń jẹ ìdodo, whatever, I don't know, they put it. So we don't watch so many things we don't watch in the public. We need to put some things inside and then we come out with a formidable force. So that is when people will know we know what we're doing and where we're going. Right now, if people from outside had joined this meeting now, what would be their opinion about us? So I believe WRO, it's a liberal body for everybody. We are all coming from different places, but we should not be parochial. This time around, this is a liberal, because we know the problem of, I'm now saying my own point now, but the first one was just to say what I was thinking about this meeting tonight. Now, this WRO should not be caged. We are not sectional, like I'm for this, I'm for that. Because we've seen that a lot where we're coming from. Let's, all the Yoruba, as we stand there, let us have a liberal mind. We've been on this for so long that àwọn kan wà African, àwọn kan ò sí níbí, àwọn kan ò ṣe. We are not sectional. Anybody can come from any group to join us. Like me, Mr. Pakunda was saying, Afenifere, well, Afenifere is on his own. I believe we can walk and still walk with Afenifere, but we are not going to bury ourselves in Afenifere. But we will walk along with them. We walk with any other group, and we are not anti any other group. So far, they are the same. They are progressive groups. That's the way I believe WRO is. So now, the main thing we need to do, that we should be discussing now for everybody, if we are viewing this thing, is how we're going to be a formidable force. We need a formidable force that when everybody is doing the Niger people, if the country crashes, we'll be standing. If anybody does anything, be that from Kaduna or something, and the country now crash, then we'll be there to stand. And we'll join whoever is ready, like Afenifere and Tobon, to stand. Okay, this is what we want. And the only thing we can be, we've said it over and over, what we can do, we need more people. And we need to be able to be a voice in anything that is happening in Nigeria. That is where the communication department and committee is very important. Anything that is happening, is that anti or we have to counter, we have to make our point. We have to forge forward and say, this is our stand. That's how we can become a formidable force. And nobody should be saying, I'm not, we need to, please, I'm appealing. Because I know the Yoruba way of saying, let's be committed. Commitment, and then putting everything in so that we can, at the end of the day, stand and help our people to say, this is where we're going. And then they follow us. Serious. That is what I'm just trying to just put across. We need to be the voice, then that is the way people can know us. So when everything is coming down, then we'll stand. Then our aims and objectives should be made known. And when we're talking about personal things in WRO, please, let's keep it from being put in the national and the social media. Everybody to stay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Ms. Davis. Mr. Olajide Barnabas.
Yeah. Moki Gbogbole. Yes. There are a few things that I would like to suggest based on some of the things I've heard people talked about. Artists or media, to create a media committee. Now, Baba awareness. So there are lots of Yoruba platforms online. Take all their content, they discuss in Yoruba, they talk about, stuffs in Yoruba. Tabani media group here. I think we should be able to reach out to all those platforms online, because in today's world, numbers is very important. It's a numbers game. So if we could reach out to all those Yoruba platforms and we try to, sell the idea to them, let them understand our goals and aspirations. If we could find few of them that would agree to what we are talking about, every time they, create contents online, before they finish, Western Region Organization, so far when your bunch might join if they are interested. That way, we can begin to gain more members or followership, if you like. Now, having said that about numbers, Dr. Akin wants to relate map. Let's say, for example, Kogi State. In Baton create Kogi, there were some Yorubas, that were added to those group of people. Don't we create Kogi State? I think if we're talking about creating a map, yes, it is